Hello everyone, Cutie Ghostface here, and today I'm doing something that I'm very excited to do. I'm going to be opening up a Endo series from Jazwares. Now, if you can read the title of the video, you already know what it is, but this is the Shadow Freddy unboxing. First of all, before we do start, I want to say if you're thinking or contemplating on buying one of the Jazwares figures, do it. Absolutely do it. These are so worth your money. I do recommend the Endo series a lot more than I believe it's called the toy, or I'm not too sure, but the toy figures, these are so good. They're articulated and they're just very fun. They remind me a lot of Lego, which is I think what drives me towards them a lot more than the other figures. They're just really well done. They look really sick, and I can't wait for the Endo series to come alone, because that way I can actually start building these other versions that I didn't get to build because it only comes with one endoskeleton. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's go ahead and get onto the unboxing for the Shadow Freddy. Now, before I do start, listen, Jazwares, how you doing? You're ever feeling generous? There's a certain YouTuber under the name of Cutie Ghostface that would really, really love you to sponsor him, because you see, these figures are $25 each. By the way, absolutely worth it for $25. These are some really sick looking figures, but my bank account is running thin, man. If you would love to hook a brother up, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. Jazwares, please talk to me. Okay, jokes aside, let's go ahead and do this. I did kind of open it beforehand to make sure there's no important information inside, because I'm not trying to get doxxed. As you can tell, I'm a professional at this. So let's go ahead and open this up. I am super, super excited. I haven't fully opened it up, as you can tell. I love that, actually. Also, I'm sick, if you can't tell from my voice already. I kind of didn't stream at all last week because my voice was killing me, and I couldn't do anything at all. This is such a cool looking display piece. If you ever feel like displaying these figures somewhere, I feel like having this as like display like background is 100% worth it. This looks very, very sick. I love that. Okay. I was actually, since I technically opened up all the boxes, I already used my knife. By the way, fake blood. Please don't go crazy over it. I used that for a prop. Yeah, fake blood, I swear. I kind of did open up everything in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a looky-loo. Here is the Shadow Freddy. This is my first time looking at him, actually. The Shadow Freddy along with normal Freddy. This looks very beautiful. Oh, Lord. Okay. I actually did need to use my knife because apparently this thing has sticker things everywhere, so I can't really open it up too easily. There we go. I have trouble comprehending English, apparently. I think that's the only one that I need to cut. Yeah, there we go. We're good. All right. Here's the box. Let's go ahead and open it. I will say it's very different to the other ones, because the other ones have this like tab here on the back that allows them to be used for like store shelves and stuff. This one just comes blank, which is really cool. Okay, here we go. It actually comes with a very cool background too, as you can tell. That is the FNAF 2 office, in case you want to display your figures like that as well. I might do something with that eventually, so we'll see how that goes. Also, hi. Yeah, I had to put on a mask. I can already tell one of you guys was going through the video, seeing if you could see my face or not. Actually, before I do open it, let's take a look at the figures from here. So we have normal Freddy and Shadow Freddy. This is technically just a recolor of the Withered Freddy, but still very, very cool nonetheless, because I love the Shadow characters. Technically, I love Shadow Bonnie more because I just love the design of him. But honestly, Shadow Freddy's such a cool character. I'm trying to open this without every piece flying off. That would be... Oh, no, everything just flying off regardless. Okay, everything flew regardless. Alright, so here's what we got. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Endo. Here he is. One thing I really love about these figures, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the pros and cons of them real quick. One of the things that I do love about them so much is just how poseable they are. As you can tell right here, arms are very poseable, hands are very poseable. They actually do have waist movement, which is very, very cool to see in a figure. They have, I would say this is thigh movement, you know, thigh swivel, 360. They spin all the way around. They got some knee movement as well. They got some knee joints. So you're able to do crazy poses if you want to. Feet also swivel side to side and they go up and down like this. Head swivel side to side. One thing, here's where I'm starting off with my dislikes personally, is the fact that the head can go up or down. It only goes side to side. Do I wish that it went up and down? Absolutely. Is it a big loss? Not really. You can't even tell. Here, I'm going to actually pull up one of the figures. As you can tell, the head moves side to side and it's actually really, really cool. And it does not go up and down, but you can't really even tell because it's an animatronic. It has animatronic movements. Not that big of a deal. So we're going to go ahead and build Shadow Freddy because technically we already have normal Freddy. So we don't need to build Freddy. The whole process of building kind of does take time. I will show you one of my favorite methods to actually build these guys that takes a lot less time. And it definitely makes it better. I'm just going to leave him there. He's just leaning back now. Let's look at some of the designs, actually. Let's look at the quality of this work. A lot of withering going on in Purple Freddy's torso. Let's look at the head. I actually haven't looked at the head of Purple Freddy. So yeah, this is basically just a repaint. The teeth. Teeth kind of came out looking weird. I think the endo one, sorry, not the endo one, the withered one. No, the withered one also has weird looking teeth. Okay, not. I had to kind of take a look there just to see if there were some quality issues going on with this one. But so far, the quality looks pretty dang good. Let me see if I can put this on 1 so you guys can actually enjoy this real quick. I set the camera up to 1 so you guys can actually see the quality of this and not have it at 0.5. So because we really don't need to show the whole background. So if this thing can actually focus on the Freddy head, that would be very, very great. I guess that's all we're getting. So the cool thing is about these is that these have a very tight, snug fit because these actually hold onto the endoskeleton itself. Unlike, for example, Funko that just has different pieces that hold on to each other, this actually holds onto the endoskeleton and keeps it very nice and tight, as you can tell. The quality of these is absolutely crazy. I love this. And for $25, technically this one was $30. Shadow Freddy was $30, but your average price for these that you find at stores like Target, Walmart, pretty much all that, they're going to be $25. I think it's absolutely worth it. 6, 7... So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and shut up now. Let's go ahead and start building this guy. Take a look at what he looks like. I'm going to put a little fast forward as I start building him. And let's go ahead and see the quality of Shadow Freddy, actually. If I'm able to, there we go, take his body off apart and take a look at him. All right. Here is the Shadow Freddy done. Now, I do have a couple of pros and cons that I want to go through real quick, talking about the figure, saying if it's worth your money, if you should buy a Jazwares or not. And I'm going to leave that figure right there just to show you guys real quick how it looks. And I will go ahead and talk about it real quick. So for cons, I'm going to start off with cons because I do kind of want to start off with the downsides, which aren't really downsides. They're more so like personal opinions for these figures. Not that big of a deal. These are not deal breakers for a lot of people and definitely not for me. Downsides would be, of course, props, for example. I did wish that Freddy came with a microphone and that Bonnie came with some sort of, guitar. That would have been really, really sick. Again, not that big of a deal. These are $25 figures that you're getting, which is pretty much the average price. And you're getting technically 3. So I think that's really cool by itself already. So it not coming with some sort of like guitar or microphone, it's not that big of a deal. Another con that I do have is definitely the head swivel. It only swivels left and right. It does not go up and down, as you can tell, which it's kind of weird to me at that, because the waist does that, which I guess you could say that is their version of the like looking down or like nodding and stuff. But it just does not make sense. I kind of do wish like they could have had a head swivel because none of these guys do that, as you can tell. Like all of these guys just, they all just do, just left and right. That's all they do. So I do find that pretty weird. Which I understand they're animatronics. It's not that big of a deal. That's just one thing I do wish they could have done. But I don't know. That's the only thing. Because, for example, I do have this Funko here. They are able to look up and down. Like, this is not that much of a motion. I kind of do wish they would have had this sort of motion. But, not that big of a deal. Another con that I do have, and again, this is more so not that big of a deal. It's just these shoulder pads. These shoulder pads, I don't quite understand why they're there. Like, as you can tell, the shoulder pads are all the way into the arm. It just does not make sense to me. Very odd. But I do understand because they're technically supposed to be right here, but you can't really have them there because, well, the endoskeleton thing's right there, right? You can't really put them anywhere else. And having them too much into the body would have also looked weird. So you can't really put them. Do I wish they didn't put them at all? Yes, absolutely. But, yeah, can't really do much about that. I believe that's pretty much it for the cons. Well, another con, I guess. Same thing is, this isn't really that big of a deal. Is the feet down here. I kind of do wish they weren't hollow. I don't understand why they're like this. Having them, had they been solid, would have been really cool, but not that big of a deal anyways. You can't even see the feet. So, still, very, very cool looking figure, nonetheless. Now, onto the pros, things that I really do like. This one's kind of odd because I did just mention this as a con. It's definitely the range of motion. The fact that you can do all of these things, like drop down hips, arms moving all the way around, the head, the mouth, definitely. This thing is definitely cool because you don't see that with the Funkos. Funkos never did that. They never had their mouth open and closed. The fact that you can move the hand like this, which I know is a thing that the other figures had, like the ones before Jazwares, but still being able to do that, it's really, really cool. Being able to just move the legs like this, being able to move the feet like this, like it's just so much range of motion that you could actually do. I think that's really cool. I think this was really well done, and it just looks so cool. Like being able to like through the video, yeah, it looks great. In person, it looks so much better. I think that looks amazing. Another pro that I want to give it is game accuracy. I'm going to put Shadow Freddy on the side for a second, and we're going to look at Freddy. One thing that Funko did when they first released Freddy was give this man a full set of teeth. Freddy never had top teeth. For some reason, Funko gave him upper teeth. These guys actually did the right thing and gave Freddy only the lower set of teeth. See, Freddy, for some reason, only had lower teeth. Bonnie actually had the upper teeth as well, or no? No, sorry. I'm thinking of the new ones. The new ones had upper teeth. Bonnie also didn't have lower teeth. And for some reason, Funko always insisted on giving every single one of them teeth. Sorry, I got confused there for a second. But yeah, as you can tell, like all of that is accurate as well. Like you could see that. And also the endoskeleton being able to poke through. I think that's a really cool feature. Another thing is you'll never have that whole Funko thing where like you could drop the arm. Like if you just did some movements ever so slightly, the arm just fell off. Like, I'm going to show you this one real quick. This is the Funko Vanny. Like, if I were to do some hand... Yeah, like that. Like, I didn't even put too much effort into it, and it still fell off. Like, this is the Funko Vanny. And the arm falls off relatively quickly, which I know is a Funko thing. And over the time, it got easier because, the plastic kind of started spreading here, and it just made it easier for the arm and legs and all of that to fall off, which is kind of annoying. But that's just not a thing you see with these figures. These figures are so well done, and they actually look really great. And they're hold pretty well because they attach to the endoskeleton itself. I'm really trying to think of other pros here. But honestly, I can't You know, obviously aside from like the price point, which I did mention earlier, price point being $25, I really do believe this is a really good price for what it is. Like, this is a $25 figure, and these are huge. These are huge. They're amazing quality. You can actually see like the paint job being pretty good. Like, that was an issue that some people had. I personally don't see it. Oh god, the camera's just going everywhere. Like, I get that these look very toyish, but that's what it is. It's a toy. It really reminds me of something that Freddy Fazbear's company would actually put out on store shelves, trying to promote Freddy Fazbear. Like, that is something that you would actually see in universe, which I think it's really cool. And then of course you have your more realistic in-game ones, like this Shadow Freddy, for example. I think that's really neat. And like, look at their towering size. Like, this is the same Jazwares like jump scare Bonnie one that I have. They're just absolutely huge. These are massive figures, and I think they're really well done. They're great quality. They're amazing, and honestly, I really don't have much to complain about. Aside from things where I'm being nitpicky about, where I'm being very like, I don't have much of an issue with them. I don't think they're bad. Then again, these just came out, so for example, I can't tell you the strength of these or how much they're going to hold up over time, but honestly, it's just the way they're built. I really don't think there's going to be any issue with them. I can't wait for them to release the Endo series, by the robots by themselves, so I can attach the Withered Freddy and Withered Bonnie to them and just have a bigger army going on. Hey, Jazwares, you looking for a sponsor you can you can send free stuff to? A YouTuber by the name of Cutie Ghostface. If you ever once you release a Springtrap figure, I feel like that'd be very cool. That'd be very cool content. No, don't worry. Just don't worry about it. Anyways, jokes aside, very much worth the money. I was super excited to get this guy. It's so well done. And honestly, I think I'm going to end the video there because I don't really have any other things to add. This is pretty much it. Stop. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stand. God damn. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video there. Clearly, everyone's falling. Definitely worth your money if that's something you ever spot at the stores for $25. Not that bad. Great investment, in my opinion, if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. It looks amazing. It's so beautiful to look at, and but not as beautiful as you. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you all tomorrow, or not tomorrow. I guess next video that I post. You get the point. You know what? I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.